All right. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all having yourselves a fantastic start to your AM here. Let's get my Zoom set up. So yeah, should be an interesting trading day. It is a bank holiday, yet markets remain open. So generally, what that means, right, is just bond markets are going to be closed here today. And historically, right, when you get those bond market holidays, you do get a little bit of potentially some lower volume. Let me find the date here. We had one recently and we traded it. We actually traded it quite successfully. That would have been Columbus Day. So October 13th. So we're going back right to the previous one, trying to see what the volume was like, kind of get an idea of it, and ended up being kind of an inside bar day on actually very impressive volume. So maybe not the best comparison, but it does give us a rough idea, right, of yeah, like how enthusiastic or whatever price action might be. When I worked on a U.S. Trading desk, right? So traded U.S. markets, we didn't get Remembrance Day or Veterans Day off. So would again, right, expect it to be a pseudo volatile maybe environment here. And yeah, we'll see how aggressive things do behave, and then we can go from there. For everyone who is joining us here this morning, happy Veterans Day to all who have served or have family served or friends or family in those situations. Because of you and your service, we have free markets, and that's what gives us our opportunity to chase this passion on a daily basis. So thank you very much for everything you've done for your country and my country. And yeah, long may that relationship continue. All right. Enough of the chitter chatter. Let's get after it here a little bit today. A lot of Fed speak here this morning, right? So expecting it to maybe be a little bit that might be a little bit of an interesting one. Besides that, should be like a grind day, I would expect. And if we do get that type of grind, we can take advantage of it. So let's start mapping things out here. We got a 1 out of 3 on ES, right? Green candle, decreasing volume, and then today gapping down. So 1 out of 3 to the upside. Doesn't really mean too much. Would probably expect to see either a breakout through that 68.70 zone, right? That's going to be our starting point to the upside, or to the downside here. 68.30 would be kind of our starting point. Above, right? This is where we got to start to be a little bit careful. It's pretty wicky, right? Above that 900. So we're going to go like 910. It was nine. It's like 918. The thing that I don't know, maybe something to consider, I guess. I'm playing, or not playing around. I'm mentally maybe preparing myself for this. But every like serious ES trader talks about ES moving in 15-point handles, and I kind of historically have it moving more in 10-point handles. Kind of a 10-point difference here, right, between some of these levels. That maybe makes it like less appealing to trade, right? Potentially compared to NQ. And I have yeah, had the thought, I guess, that maybe that's like why I focus on NQ so much more. So maybe at some point here in the future we'll be transitioning to 15-point handles on ES. But yeah, like all the literature I read on the old futures traders, or when you see stuff that like old CME guys post about it on social media, it's always 15-point handles. So maybe one day here I'll commit myself to it. Yeah, I don't think I need to go past too far past that 20 handle. To the downside here, we're looking at that 30 right as our starting point, and then a little bit more space down towards 800, and yesterday's low is 770. So I think pushing it towards that area also makes a little bit of sense. All right, NQ. Oh, Mike, I had no idea you were in a sub. That's or on a carrier. That's so cool. All right, NQ. Green candle decreasing volume, right? Yesterday. And then this morning is gapping down. So same thing, 1 out of 3, but appears to be kind of like bouncing off of that trend line. Right, same thing like on ES. We have like maybe a bit of a channel here, however you want to describe it, right? Pseudo sort of range bound price action. Every time it hits those lows, tends to do well. Less maybe pronounced on ES, probably about the same. So similar concept, right? In both directions, markets are rhyming here again, which is really nice. To the upside would be looking 25,800 as our starting point. Okay, and then to the downside here, we're looking at 25.5. We're gonna get 25.6 taken care of by the indicator. All right. I think that makes sense. CL. So green candle decreasing volume. Actually, is that an inside bar? Yeah, it is. Just makes a higher high. So 2 out of 3 without volume here. That was a sneaky one. All right, and then pretty big move overnight. This kind of historically, sets up maybe a little bit more like a mean reversion move, right? Especially if we've got that upper trend line resistance. So it stopped once, stopped twice, stopped 3 times, 4 times, right? Maybe it's now going to stop a 5th. So that would for sure be what I'd be interested in. Also, like a big move overnight when we haven't seen particularly strong price action in crude also makes me think that there's weakness, right? Kind of implied to a certain extent. It's almost like it's setting up as a like volume divergence reversal, something along those lines. And that's pretty fascinating. Maybe the other thing that we could watch here. Is like just spreads, right? If the spreads are reasonable on CL here today, it'd be reasonably tradable. When it starts to become 2 cents, becomes a bit of a pain in the ass. If it's 1 cent consistently and it's tight, then we don't have to worry about how things are moving. It could be worth trying to trade this a little bit here today. This could set up maybe a tad easier than some of our other stuff based on what we've seen here so far. Upside would have to be still above 61, so we would be targeting 61.50. Downside would be basically ORB fake out here, call it at the trend line, not above this time. Same thing. We're considering this line to be a zone. It's not just 61.23. And then if we can fill it down towards that area, you can go down towards about 60.50. So rock farm construction, I am on TradingView. If you go into the Discord in the trading basics channel, I've got a video there that breaks down all those questions for you. So I'd recommend going through that. I think the nice thing about trading CL here, potentially, I'm going to speak it into existence, is we don't have to worry about that 5% for a very, very long time here today, right? So we actually have a pretty nice window of volatility. There is no limit down restriction, or limit up restriction, sorry. So we do have a bit more, maybe flexibility there to get a nice breakout. We want to see it really pop above that trend line. Because it's a bank holiday, we wouldn't get inventories data today. We should have just a smooth window. And downside 60, 50. Yeah. All right. Apple, green candle, decreasing volume, gap up, 2 out of 3, weak, 2 out of 3. Oh my gosh. Okay. Tesla, green candle, decreasing volume, gap down, 1 for 3. Microsoft, 2 out of 3 with volume. Amazon, green candle, decreasing volume, gap down. Oh, 1 for 3, call it a week. 1 for 3, kind of giving us an early sign, right, of some potential consolidation here. Nvidia, 1 for 3 as well. Maybe wants to do a little gap fill scenario. A little low volume flush today would be actually pretty fun. Same thing here. We got a lot of big gaps to fill, actually. Meta, green candle, decreasing volume, gap down. Netflix, green candle, decreasing volume, gap down. I mean, I sound like a broken record here this morning. Google, 290, green candle, decreasing volume, gap down. So another 1 for 3. And then VIX Aruni, 17 spot 75 or 74. So still about like implied range of 1% ish here this morning. We are oh wow, Mike, that's insane. So you guys must have been scrambling. But yeah, let's see what markets have in store for us here today, right? Yeah. Kind of feels like it's setting up for a little bit of some spiciness or something a little bit interesting, which would be really nice. I would be very stoked with that. How's everyone feeling this morning? Yeah, that's a great response, Kellen. That's a great response. Love to hear it. Yeah, I'm feeling sharp here this AM too. So I think it's gonna be a good Tuesday. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm a bit nervous about the. Oh, Ron, that was the worst game of all time. Go Birds. All right, guys, got a minute here to market open. Let me just go grab my cup of coffee here. I'll be back in a second. And yeah, let's hope today's action is a little bit more exciting than Monday Night Football. All right, be right back. All right, I'm back. So, just in time here. Let's see how things go. And remember, guys, control the variables we can control here today, right? We're not going to force anything. We're just going to stick to our rules. We're going to follow our process. We're going to be deliberate, right? Not desperate. And if we do that, we'll put ourselves in a good position. If we chase stuff or we look for validation or whatever it is, I think we'll end up being probably pretty frustrated with our trading day. So let's be really focused here this morning. Let's be really deliberate decision makers, and let's just really like focus on the quality of following our process and simplifying our execution here for ourselves, right? That's going to be the focus here this morning. And hopefully we can get that all set up. Again, just going to make this kind of a part of the routine here. But just as a reminder, right, for everyone who's watching, I do not offer done-for-you trading services. The only trades I take are the ones that you see me take on stream. I don't take anything outside of market hours. I mean, I do sometimes rebalance my portfolio, but that's not quite what we mean here. And I will never offer to trade FX for you or crypto for you or ask you to send me money so that I can trade for you. Please be aware that there are people impersonating me who are attempting to run those types of scams. And it is not me who is reaching out to you with those types of offers, even if it appears as if they have the same username and even potentially the same profile picture. When you double click them, they will always have a different username, and it will not be a member of the DTR server. And yeah, just be really careful, guys. These people on Discord honestly really drive me nuts with how it ruins kind of the platform a little bit. So we'll figure out something there. But please be aware, guys, that I cannot legally offer those types of services, and I would not jeopardize my ability to trade to take your guys' money for that kind of bullshit. Really good range on, yes, it's not 25 points, right? It's 6.25 points. Not bad on NQ. Definitely the smallest we've had in a while. But it's going to look a little bit better on, yeah, it's going to be like 40 points just about on the 3 min. That's very, very reasonable. CL's not super interesting yet. Crazy how quickly I revert back to my my true love. So our best bet here, maybe we have a chance for increasing volume on the second candle, but I would be a little bit surprised. Yeah, 20 seconds ago, we're probably not going to get there. How's everyone finding the journal, by the way? Everyone liking that template that I'm posting? Hopefully everyone can read my handwriting. It's a disaster. Yeah, Gary, if you just send your DTR advisor a message, they'll send you a Zoom link. I can attach a blank PDF in the next one, Roberto, and you can just steal that as your template if you want, and then just copy and paste those in or whatever. Yeah, I'll throw that in today's. I've actually really enjoyed the process of journaling this way. It's been quite interesting. So glad to hear it's working for everyone. Perfect. Not quite the fake out that I'd want to see yet. So this would have to be just a breakout setup under these lows. Bollinger Band wise, right? Very, very extended. This is where like the mean reversion kind of idea would come from. This is what's the right way of describing this? Like my opening range breakout and how I calculate these bands, right, or these like upper targets is very influenced by Bollinger Bands. So Bollinger Bands, right, give you a static based on the implied like standard deviation of the highs and the lows of a possible move, and so it gives you a different type of calculation. The opening range, right, these are supposed to be an indication of like the implied volatility. So the larger the bands, right, the further away they are, the larger the range, right, the more volatile or the larger trend you could potentially expect. And then obviously the tighter it is, the smaller moves and choppier moves you kind of could expect. And effectively, if you were to visualize this as like a Bollinger Band setup, we're just looking for breakouts through the middle towards the upper end of the range or breakouts down the middle through the lower end of the range. And so it's very visualized in a similar way. So it'd be like breaking out through this yellow line, right, towards the upper or down towards the lower. Kind of that same concept here, but translated in a slightly different way. I think a way that gives me a few more setup triggers. So people, every now and then ask me like why I don't trade Bollinger Bands anymore or why I don't do them. I would say that I trade like that same philosophy that I would have, excuse me, traded with Bollinger Bands or like that same type of style. But I'm trading a setup trigger that gives me more opportunities, right? Or it gives me a more consistent potential type of outcome. All right, so this is setting up here as our possible rejection, right? Pretty good volume, second largest volume bar of the day. 937, nice and early. And again, we want to see some sort of indication of a bullish failure right here first. There's our little breakout. So now we can switch to aggressive. Now we want to see a fake out above that like 619 area. And if it doesn't set up here, right, we might get a look on the 3. So not really a big deal, but we should be able to get that little fake out here now. There it is. So now we're going to start to set up our order window. It's not a guarantee this is our stop loss here yet, but setting it up, it'd be 25, 623, maybe now more, 62, well, it's 628. Still probably a little bit too bouncy for me to be ready to draw a reference price. So I'm waiting on this a little bit. Ooh. Now we're just watching, right? We're trying to see, does price action want to settle? Does it want to behave nicely? That's a little bit better. You're looking at a 629 stop loss now. Still not quite ready for me. Okay, that's a little bit of a better rejection. So now I'm looking for reference price. Actually, let this candle close. Fine. So we'll say reference price like 622-ish. I'm gonna make a video on this, but someone was asking me like, what am I looking for once it's inside my reference price? I'm almost looking at it as 3 zones. So zone 1, like the first little chunk that it can enter in, I'm basically making sure that that pullback is controlled, right? So that it's a slow move. Zone 2 is where I start to look for kind of like my like if it's in here and it's slow, that becomes my entry kind of like feeling. And then zone 3, right, which would be that last chunk between say where my cursor is right now and price action, would be like maybe it's a little bit too tight, or it's not behaving maybe as I expect. Like if I was super confident in my thesis, like it wouldn't flirt with disaster so easily. So that's sort of my thought process. I'll make a little bit of a video of that. I should have some time today before I leave. So I'll make that for everyone here. Guys, at the size of this move, guys, I'm waiting on this, right? So that's a pretty big move, right? From where our target is, nearly 29 points by itself. So if we're saying what does weak bulls look like? Well, weak bulls is like a little fake out we saw there, and then 30 points of dip buy. So probably not that convincing story here yet. So I'm gonna have to wait this thing out just a little bit. Doesn't mean that my thesis is wrong. It just means that it's likely that I'm early. I don't want to be early on trades. Yesterday we got stuck in a few kind of like chop zone positions, I called them. And I really want to focus on not being stuck in that here this morning. That means I got to give you guys the full vocal history of my trading evolution. That's what we're going to do here today. Let's hope not. I don't want to bore myself to sleep. All right. Still in play here. We want to see some sort of indication of a failure again. So looking for a little pop above 607.50 right now. Currency, yeah. Oh, you don't want to go there, Ajay. You don't want to go there. Still waiting for that little fake out or some sort of indication of a rejection. Not yet. We still want to see a fake out, Sonia. We still want to see bulls fail. One day I won't confuse my analogies, and finally you guys will understand what I'm talking about. So still waiting, right? We're still waiting. Again, if I'm trying to be like reasonably objective, been a bit of a fight around this 600. That's fine. There's your fake out potentially. That was fast. That was a rocket ship through. So stop would be 616 for now. And then reference price, I'd probably go something like that. And then again, right, first third of that zone, I'm making sure it's moving slowly. Second third of that zone is kind of where I'm looking for my, biggest discount I think I can get away with. Final third of my zone, I'm asking myself second questions. So let's see. Moving pretty quick in there, so I'm still being patient, right? Yeah, see, way too fast. So you give yourself that little thing to look for, right? Is it going to give me that green light or not? And it was like a drag car, you know, blowing its tires, ready to go there. So good decision, team. Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure, Kyle. Yeah, for sure. This is moving super fast. Not the way we'd want at all. But again, kind of like weak bullish volume. So we're setting up like just to reject potentially here now in this area, right? All we have is wicks in this zone, right? All we have is evidence of bears failing. So, you know, maybe there's still an opportunity for us here to establish it, but it is bouncing very quickly. Meanwhile, CL's not giving me the mean reversion look or rejection that I've expected early on. So we wait. I don't know, Roberto. Not one that I use. I mean, really, the thing that I care about, or if like I'm really watching something, is I'm watching is the spread widening or is the spread getting tighter, right? So I'm asking or watching, is price action getting more efficient? Like, is the discovery of price action getting more efficient or less efficient? I mean, that did a little fake out above the previous, like a confirmation high, which would be a stop loss of 24. Mean. Like it does keep giving us good rejections towards 600, but then it can't really flush through 6. So it kind of gives us two ways to play it effectively, right? You get the overreaction pullback so that when you get to 600, you have effectively insurance, right? Or you wait for it to clear under 600 and then you just deal or get away from the chop zone. None of them is like, not one of them is better than the other. Both of them have their own little pros and cons. It's not a bad little rejection. I'd be looking around that 620-ish. Stop loss here would be 627. Again, I did screw up the way I drew that out yesterday on one setup, so I do apologize, guys. We'll be sharp about it today. So we're looking 619 or better, and then same thing, right? First little third of that zone, nice and slow. Second third of that zone, that's going to be my quote unquote sweet spot. If I can't get an entry in that whatever middle part, then I'm probably need to like second guess myself. Meanwhile, it gives us that breakdown away from 7 or from 600. I don't really have to wait very long for the alternative. No, I did not say that, Kellen. I said the spread, right? The spread tightening or the spread widening. If the spread is tightening, then the price discovery is getting more efficient. If the spread is widening, then it's getting less efficient. Okay, so let's see. it's running up the stairs and then dumping through the elevator. So it is moving fast, but it's moving faster lower than it's moving higher. Seemingly not interested in giving me an entry. I have no reference price here yet. $73 to $85, $77 to $85. All right, so I'm going to start to set this up a little bit. This could be our, oh no, we're staying away. Look at the volume. Volume a minute in is already significantly larger than the breakdown through that range. We want to be a little bit careful there. Potentially an indication of capitulation. Let's see how this candle closes. We're looking for it to close like normal body bullish, full body bullish, sorry, bearish, right? It doesn't seem like it wants to do that. Not quite a fake out, but close. Full inside bar. We haven't really missed anything either, which is kind of a strange sensation with how fast prices moved. The only trades we would have gotten, you would have had to been like an absolute like perfect sniper. Like it would have given us only like one very, very small window. And I think that's probably not realistic to assume we would have traded that perfectly. If I can fill this in, little inside bar consolidation here, right? Some sort of indication that bulls have failed, and then break down. It's funny. I don't know if Rusty's in here today, but when we first started trading together, he was like, second or third person who ever joined DTR. And at the time, we were trading the low vol pullback, which is so similar to what this is now with the fake outs. Effectively, it's a very, very similar idea. And it's just makes me laugh. It's like the more things change, the more things remain the same. Like you think you're reinventing the wheel and you're doing something crazy and dramatic, but it's like, oh no, this is actually just what I was doing 5 years ago. Funny how that works. Okay, maybe we have a chance here on this 5 min to give us something interesting. Kind of the same close we got on that 2 min, right? Very similar to that, which I don't enjoy. 3 min looks the best. 2 min might be able to give me the best risk reward. I think the fact that it's a bit contextual. This continues to be my confirmation, and none of these have quite invalidated my thesis. It's like a little bit more, I don't want to say messy. I don't think messy is the right term, but it's like a little bit more elongated. I'm very impressed with CL. Not going to be enough volume, I don't think, to play this as a reversal. Yeah. Now this is behaving a bit more like that reversal candle, right? So for sure, we now would like to see probably a rejection to the downside for any continuation narrative. So bias is flipping here now, right? We're looking for reversals here. We're looking for basically fake outs. You could almost call it like equal move lower, equal move higher. So let's see, back up above 600 as well, which I think gives us a pretty nice little element of support. Let's see if it can hold. And then same thing, we want to see evidence of bears failing. And then if they do, we should be able to get an entry. Hopefully can find an entry. If they don't, then we'll avoid another hopefully obvious mistake. All right, so good close there. Immediately makes a higher high. So we're looking for that little fake out here, a little rejection. If we don't get it on the 3, we'll just reset this to the 2. No real big deal. No 10 a.m. data for us to worry about here today, so we should have a slightly clearer open. Sandy checked that here quickly, but yeah, it looks fine. We want to see bulls fake out under that, or bears fake out under that red line at the moment. So it's not a stop loss. It's just there as a reference. We're going to have a similar idea here on this 2-min time frame. Really impressive volume. If it can hold above that fake out high, or that breakdown low, sorry. Breakdown high. There we go. Don't know why I couldn't say that properly. Would have been better. Fine. Still going to wait. And so we want to see a little bit of failed move under 605 first. We got time here still. Or on this 2-min. Right now it'd be bullish, Jackson. Right now it would be bullish. We're looking for reversals. Right, you can tell my red line here would be where my stop loss would be when if I do get a setup here that I can trade. So if that's on the bottom, you know it's a long. If that's on the top, you know it's a short. But so far, nothing. It's quite ready for me. How's everyone feeling? Everyone feeling okay? Yeah, we've done a good job protecting mental capital, I think, here so far. Okay, fine. 5 mins a signal, 3 mins a signal still, 2 mins a signal still. So on this trade, right, this 956 is our confirmation. Right, on the 5 min, this 955 is our confirmation. And on the 3 min, this 954. So All of them are effectively the same. Here might be our little chance for that fake out. Let's see. So it'd be a long here. Stop loss would be for now 612. I still expect it to be a little bit lower than that. There's 610. 25. About 605 for now. We'll just adjust this. So 609 it would be. Hey, Classic Entertainment. I don't work for Take Profit Trader, so you got to answer that one yourself, mate. I'm sure their FAQs will answer that question for you. Terrible time to ask that question when I'm looking for an entry. Okay, so we got to be a little bit careful here. Increasing bearish volume, right? That's a little bit of a possible warning sign. It looks like it's going to be now increasing bullish volume. So there was our bearish failure. Cool, no problems. Now we're trying to find a decent stop loss here. Come on. Settle down. Be 6. I was going to say 15 there for a second, but nope. Okay, stop would be 608. All right, guys, focus up here, right? We're looking at an entry. Focus up. And again, something like that. So then first little third, right? Looking, is it moving slowly? Second, third, that's my entry target. Then each time it re-enters, right, that reference price zone, I'm re-going through that process in the thirds, right? And I'm trying to visualize it as best as I can. It's not an exact science. Be too fast, so waiting. And now we got to switch to a longer time frame because it's invalidated here on the shorter time frame. So now we're looking at this on the 5, right, as our reversal signal. Same idea, but we're going to be setting up potentially different risk parameters now. Does the thirds thing make sense to people? Do you guys get what I mean by that? Do you see how maybe it would help? Yeah, I mean, I'll make a video. Yeah, like I said, I'll make a video, but trying to get some instant feedback here. So inside bar still fine, right? Inside bar still fine. Well, it's not intent, Jerry. That's not a fair way of describing it. If it's inside my reference price, My intent is to take the trade. It's already visualized here so that you can see what that intent is. So I would not phrase it that way. You guys already see that. I already give you all that information. I'm trying to make a 7-point range, a 2-point range for you guys. We're still waiting to see if we can get a good reaction here. Any defense inside this candle is still very real, like reasonable, right? You'd like to clear the chop zone if we're going to trust any breakdowns. Otherwise, it does look a little bit like a fake out through this 956 confirmation that we talked about. Woo! Rude. See ya, Jesus. Well, good decision here so far, right? Good decisions here so far. Okay, so now we got about a minute here. We'll see if we can get a setup to the downside or if this again ends up being a possible capitulation. Don't really have any candles that close before that. So now, right, bias is again flipped. We're now looking for downside setups. $15 seconds. Not the strongest close. This is what I'm struggling with. Like, it didn't close under previous low a day. It established a new low, but kind of a fake out low. That means I should pass on the burden of confirmation to a longer time frame. We want to see it close under that 60 handle. Or we want it to give us like a reversal signal. That would be interesting too. Ooh, so close. It flirted with it. So wait on this now on the 5 or on this 2-min if we can get, be very unlikely, an increasing volume breakout or inside bar maybe close back under previous low. Same thing with the 5. If the 5 could close under that 60, that could put us in good shape here again. Has a chance. 10 points away, has a chance. So again, we wanted just to see it close at that blue line or better. Bit of deja vu to how that 3-min candle just closed. But guys, we've done a really good job. I know no trades here so far, kind of discouraging, but we've done a really good job just avoiding mistakes here, right? We've avoided choppy moves. We've not chased anything that would have lost us any money. You've done a good job here, right? So don't beat yourself up that there's no action here yet. We're only 40 minutes into the session and we've probably avoided 3 losses. That's something to celebrate. So please, guys, remind yourself those things. Really easy for us to forget. Like we always assume that we would have, never made a mistake on a move that we missed, but we never tend to remember the mistakes that we avoid. Okay, so again, setting up a little bit like a possible fake out scenario, right? Made a fake out above that confirmation high, but it's a compromise high, right? So that's why I'm a little bit skeptical or like a little bit hesitant. I don't know, maybe is the right term. Like this is not a perfect signal. It's like a B minus confirmation. And if I now have to start to like put a grade on confirmations, then I'm already admitting that it's a bit of a compromise. So I need to see some sort of hold under that previous low a day. That's really what I'm screaming to the mountains for. Until that, it's really hard for me to assume that we've got anything besides choppiness. Been kind of a weird morning. We've had like periods of extremely fast moves and then periods of basically like the most tepid price action you could imagine. I didn't have any other adjective for it. The longer it takes, the less confident I'd be in bears. I'd say, right? Like the longer it takes for them to find their momentum again, the harder it is for me to be confident that that's the easy move. Again, we're looking for a close under 60. Kind of bounced off of that a little bit too easily. So much nicer to not be in trades that are just chopping you about. Trying to keep reminding myself that. None of this would have been particularly fun yet. And same thing, we're looking for hold under that 60. Effectively, we're trying to like fill out that candle to a certain extent. Because this still can behave as our confirmation, but we want to see it hold under those previous lows in some context. And then that fake out makes some sense, right? And go from there. How you doing, Rusty? We were talking about you a bit this morning. Basically just saying how the more things change, the more they remain the same. How it's like right now I'm trading a fake out method, and it's so similar to the low vol pullback we traded when you first started with us. Yeah, only good, of course. All right, so we are looking here, guys. We are looking. Target would be 500. Delete this for now. Let's see where it rejects. If it can reject. No rubber band snapback. Like this comeback's taking so long. It's like George coming up with the jerk store line and the taxi. So just a little bit too slow. Like it feels like it's absorbing more than it's pushing in either direction. Maybe I'm wrong. Reference price would be like that-ish. That's fine. Again, possible indication, right, of some of that bullish failure. So again, setting it up here now. Just going to be watching carefully, though. Not in a rush. So 571. Short. So realistically, probably going to be a 572 stop loss. Oh, feels like a lifetime ago, Mike. Two years, I guess, probably. So call this a missed entry at this point. If it's a point day, we'll just reset this up. I mean, I trade personal money through interactive brokers, Roberto. Surge Trader. Pretty sure DTR put them out of business. Okay, so we're going to reset this thing back up. Good close, good volume. Okay. Well, let's see if it fakes out here. Everything's making us work, though. It's so annoying. Woo. Feels like opposite day. All right. Be something like that. 65 again. Nice work, Jennifer. Congratulations. I did not get a fill there. I didn't try to click submit, actually, all things considered. All right, guys. I am now in, though. I am now in at 560 on the dot. Stop loss 565. Just got stopped. Potentially try this again. Oh, that's a mean stop loss. $22. Okay, so I'm setting it back up. 67. I'll call it 68 would be the stop now. I almost can't believe I got shaken out of that by a point. That's pretty mean. 2 points. Okay, too fast, right? Clearly into that entry zone there. Too fast. So now you're looking at a 73. The reference price of like 68. So again, so we can get a gentle pullback now into that area. Appears unlikely. Yeah, that was a good time. They allowed you to swing trade equities. It was awesome. That was a good time. Okay, so setup still in play. It's just being real stubborn. Yeah, and I can't believe I got faked out of that. That would have been such a good entry. All right. So again, watching here closely, splitting it up into thirds, right? First third, making sure it's slow. Second third, sweet spot. Final third, maybe it's not stopping how I expect type thing. Okay, so watching, we're close. Short would be the setup here. Stop loss at 74. Okay, watching here carefully. Good rejection. Way too fast there again. Oh, that was weird. So now he'd be a 77. Nope. Let's get stuck at 81. Not going to be a fake out here. Kind of. Being funky. I'll do something like that. Trying not to be as stubborn as I was yesterday. Easier said than done, maybe. All right, still waiting here. You sure what to do with this candle? Yeah. Oh, I mean, I'm not particularly stressed here, Kiki. Just try to be very patient and not deal with the chop. That's really the focus. Like I'm putting all my energy into that because yesterday, like I did well. I just made decisions like that were just unnecessary. And when you take unnecessary decisions, it just makes everyone's life harder. I'm gonna have to watch back that first one, but maybe I didn't quite get the reaction I wanted. We'd be looking at something like this. We want to see another little fake out here first. Higher, right? We're being stubborn. It's either going to be perfect or we're not going to trade it. Or it'll set up on a different time frame, right? That also is a high probability event. I'd probably have it set up something like this. Let's see if we can fake it out. It's a decent rejection. Yeah, that's why we're being really patient. Okay, so 560 would be the stop. Again, that's a pretty decent rejection there. Well, still just waiting. Let's see if we can get a look. Could also possibly do this. One of the fibs get funky. So this would be our possible fake out here. Let's see. In reference price, I'd probably go around like there. Let's see if it fakes. $550 is a pretty logical stop loss. We're looking at like a 553, 554. Hey guys, I'm in kind of a nasty fill. 48. And I do not like how bouncy this is. Yeah, guys, I don't like this. I don't like the way that this is behaving. I'm going to try to get out of this. Too bouncy. It's not behaving like a strong trade. So I'm looking to close here as P&L is increasing. Oh, now it's behaving fine. All right, so this is going to be my exit price, guys. I am out. Oh, didn't get a fill. Now I'm out. Okay, exit price 536.50, 536.50. I hated how that entry made me feel. I hated it. That entry felt way too bouncy. So we'll reset this, right? See if we can get through that chop zone, but I'm happy to be green. I hated that entry though. Absolutely couldn't stand it. For sure. All right, so now we're resetting this. And hated my entry. That's my note. Okay, so now we're looking for a move towards 400. And we're going to have no issues from a risk reward perspective. Okay, so let's see if this is the possible fake out scenario. And I want a smooth feeling entry this time. That last entry was so bouncy. It was so stressful. I'm not about that, right? That's want the easy trade, not the hard trade. We're looking at a 525 stop loss for now. A reference price will go right around there. Too fast, right? Way too fast. So reset, try it again. Whew. Thing's moving like a fucking sociopath. Same setup will be in play here still if this thing closes. These fucking fibs are driving me nuts today. All right, still in play. Yeah, I feel like I panicked closed that last trade. I really didn't like actually how I executed that. Okay, so now you're looking at like a 514. Short, right? We're looking short. And just deep breath, strong posture, right? Reset. If a trade is strong, it'll give you more than one chance to enter. Don't chase it unless it's perfect. Okay, guys, I am in 509.25 short. Just got stopped out. Ooh, violent move. Try this again, potentially. Back to that 525. Interesting. Sitting now at 139.74 on the day. Monster. And that looks like it might be possible bullish failure. Fine. It's good volume, but it's a pathetic candle. So we know a lot of that volume is the rejection above, right? Because that's the vast majority of the range of the bar. So looking at a 526 stop loss for now. And that pulled in rapidly. So now we want to be careful analyzing this. Good rejection. Okay, give me a gentle pullback here that isn't on crack. This thing is, yeah, taking a hip hop dancing class here with how it's moving. Hey, let's go, Kiki. Dinner on you. I don't even know if that gets you a Subway these days. Might be able to get like a cookie. Okay, so again, watching here carefully, guys. That was too fast. Still an inside bar. It's kind of greasy. Okay, 527 would have to be the stop. Now give me the gentle pullback. Come on. Hey guys, I am in 521.75. 521.75. Just got stopped. This is being stubborn. That puts me at minus 320.34. Maybe 31.70 or call it 31.50 stop loss. Too fast. Yeah, we're going to let this go. And now we have increasing outlier volume to the upside. Good candle shape. So we're looking at a reversal. Good close. Targeting high of day. Yeah, that could be our possible little shake and fake. So 525 would be the stop loss here now. Long. Did not get it. Reference price around here-ish. Okay, watching carefully here. Too fast. Okay, watching here. All right, guys, I'm in 31.75. 31.75. Stop loss 325. Come on. And bouncy on entry, which I don't like. The common but annoying theme here today. See if we can get over that 40. Touched it, then died. Watch, be careful here. And touched it and died. Keep going. There it goes, team. Oh, and then it dies. Fuck. Man, price action is making me work today. Okay, well, now I have to look for an exit. Come on, get over. Horrific close. Hey guys, I am out. Exit price 32.50. Sweet. Monster win. Annoying. Hopefully everyone got out of that. So Hank, can't really answer your question with that information. You click out 529, limit order, market order. What price did you submit at? Can't really contribute without any extra of that info. So for sure, that one should have been a much better win than what it was. Quite disappointing, actually. All right, let me go fill up my coffee, guys. Be back in a second. All right, I'm back. All right, so we're back flirting with 500. Yeah, that's really smart, Sonia. That one didn't behave how we expected. I mean, I got like a $60 win out of that when I was up at one point $1,000. So pretty disappointing trade. but still sitting at a very manageable number. 280 on the day now, minus. Oh, fine by me. I can live with that. And again, it's marginal improvements versus yesterday. Done a little bit better avoiding the chop or like not getting the hopium as bad, but also not been as aggressive in locking and protecting profits as I probably should. So kind of need to figure out that straddle a little bit better. We absolutely have a setup here on the 3. Absolutely. This is your confirmation, 1033. Fake out, right, becomes then this entirety of this move and how we're now back down to these lows. So it isn't just a wiki one. Doesn't make it any better or worse. Stop would then have to be 515 for now. Hey, appreciate that, Sonia, but you're the one who's pulling the trigger, right? So give yourself credit. Okay, so we're watching here. Reference price would be about that. I'm like, I don't know, 30 seconds late, it feels like, on some of these moves. All right, 507.50 still close. Everyone feeling good? Good to hear. Good, good. Yeah, I'm feeling calm as well. It's nice. So ideally, we want it seeing closing under 500. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Interesting. Still a lower low, still a lower high. Still closed under previous candle low. We've had to fight a little bit. There's been a lot of like almosts or call me maybes type things. Nothing super decisive yet. Yeah, like I don't think we've done anything bad from a technique perspective. We just haven't gotten the reaction we'd expect on trending moves. Okay, so now we'd be looking at like a 505 stop. So again, slowly, right? We want to see it behave slowly. Wouldn't say that that was slow enough for me. And we can try this just on the 2-min now, no biggie. Looking at 595 for now as a stop loss. Sorry, 495. And reference price would be above 90. Too fast. Too fast. Better. I changed the reference price now. Again, logical spot for bulls to fail was a defense of 500. So we're kind of waiting for that to a certain extent. 501. Okay, watching here carefully. Still a little bit too fast. Seven seconds. 510. Doesn't look like it's going to close the fake out. Fucking relentless. Okay, keep focused here, guys. Yeah, my take profit's still 400. You can see it on my screen here, right? If we're at 500, next target's to my right. If we're at 400 or in the 400s, next target's to my right. Sounds good, James. Enjoy the rest of your morning. Ah. Yeah, maybe this 5-minute. I don't think we're going to get enough volume on it. Yeah, I mean, for sure, Jerry. Yeah. I mean, there's multiple days in my P&L journal where I don't get a trade, right? Oh, for sure. Today's not one of those days. Like, it really is not one of those days. But if I'm sharp enough to trade, I'm feeling good enough to trade, I will trade. And then if I don't get a setup or something doesn't behave that I want, I don't have to take a trade. Right? Just because I'm watching the market doesn't mean I have to trade the market. And like I said, again, today, I don't think I've broken any rules or done anything stupid. And I'm well within one trade away of being green. So there should be no complaints. I was looking for some sort of indication, right, that bulls are back in control from a volume perspective. Well, even on choppy days, you'd still have things to do, right? You're still positioning positions or getting your exposure to where you want or reducing risk. You'd always be busy. And good price movement, bad volume movement. So still gonna wait here. Hey, thanks, Joe. Thanks. All right, so we have a good rejection here. Again. What a life. All right. So realistically, we'll just keep it simple. Keep target to be low of day. Let's not get too crazy here. So for now, short, we're looking at a 529 stop loss. Let's come together fast. Reference price would be about there. Well, that was quick. All right. Classic. Okay. Watch closely. Still moving a bit funky, right? There's our possible fake out. 535 would have to be the stop. 5. Okay, watching here carefully again. Thing's a dick. I don't really want to compromise my stop loss here or change it. Like I could theoretically push it to 31, but I have a sneaking suspicion that 35 is a better one. Gotta remind yourself, it is not personal, even if it feels like it is. Okay, let's see. Nice and gentle. Here's the key. Green candle's fine. Volume's not a concern. I'm going to let this close, though. Although that might have been my entry right there. Okay, 3 min might set up here a little bit. It'd be like a multi-candle confirmation. We combine these two candles, looks like a nice normal body bullish or a normal body bearish. And then we had it at 35. And now we're looking at like a 21 stop loss. Reference price, like that 16 area. I'm trying to keep it tight, guys. I'm trying to keep it really tight. Okay. I got a lot of lines on here. Sorry. Yeah, we're going to wait this thing out again. Fuck, I know. All right. Like this. And we're back to that 521. This would be the reaction. Give it a sec here. Okay, now you're looking at 523. Still too fast. This thing's a prick. We're going to go back to that 35 stop loss as being in play. Kind of insane. A temperamental prick. So we're going to wait this thing out, guys. Big green candle, good chance to be increasing outlier volume. So we're going to wait. Okay, better. Did close as a fake out. Stop would have to be at 42. Again, not ideal. Like reference price wouldn't be up until like this range. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Realistically, now we're back to targeting low of day, so about 485. Yeah, it does feel a little bit like that today, Jack. Everything is super stubborn, myself included. Yeah, very manageable so far. So it's like still got some opportunity, still got some volatility, still have volume. Okay, a little inside bar doesn't kill me. uh and all I'm trying to do more than anything is just fight against dumb, intrusive, impulsive thoughts. Looking at a 525 for now. And we're just trying to get the tightest risk we can. 25, 525. All right, reference price would be about here-ish. And watching carefully. That's too fast. Now we're looking at 28, 25, 30. God damn. Thing is making me work. 33. We've done such a good job, guys, being so picky with our entries today. We've done such a good job of that. Okay, again, little low vol fake out. Let's see. Now we're looking at a 36. Reference price would be about that. Come on. Let's see. Come on. Okay, guys, I'm in 530.25, 530.25. Not a perfect entry. Stop loss at 36. Not a perfect entry though. That's bothering me a little bit. Okay, there's my stop loss. Annoying. Again, not green right away. It stalls. Should have gone out of that. Nice work, Roberto. All right. I have one more insane asylum attempt here. I told the guys I still feel pretty good. E&L sitting at like minus 700, so fine. Not too concerned. Target here would be high a day. So let's see if this rejects here. Sounds like it could just be the leverage settings, Jerry. Or like the margin. Yeah, not the right time for me to try to fix that for you. Sorry. All right, so we're looking at a 48 stop loss on this long. And reference price, we'll call it like here. It's just split the middle. We don't get it on the 2, we'll just reset this on the 3. Okay, instantly makes a higher high. So we want to see a little fake out. Don't be an ass. Okay, so 557 for now. 557, and this could come together quick, guys, so please focus. Reference price would be about there. All right, guys, I'm in 62.50. Stop loss at 57. There we go. Good follow through. Keep pushing. Get over 70 and hold it and run. I did get a shitty entry. Above my reference price. I was watching my risk, not the reference price. That's on me. Okay, see if it's still got legs here. I'm trying really hard not to watch the P&L. I'm just watching this candle. Candle closes above 70 on good volume, strong candle shape. I'll have no reason to get out. So that's really all I'm putting my energy into right now. Hopefully a few of you guys caught this trade as well. All right, so there's 1,000. Let's see if we can keep going. Okay, so far so good here, team. So far so good. Very nice pop through 80. Let's even keep going. See if we can keep squeezing here. Let's go, Mike. Okay, there's 2K. So we're really focusing, guys, now on closing as P&L is increasing, right? Be deliberate here. Be deliberate. I want to see a 90 handle. Nice little run towards that 6. That's like best case scenario. I got my finger on the trigger. All right, see if we can keep pushing here. See if we can keep pushing. I want it to hold in the 80s and get above the 90s. That's kind of what I'm cheering for here. Hold above the 80s, get above the 90s. Great exit, guys. Let's go, Ryan. Congratulations. It's got to put everyone green on the day or close, right? I would hope. Nice work, Jack. Good man. All right, let me focus up here, guys. Sorry, I can't do the victory lap right now. You gotta be fucking kidding me with this pullback. Come on, give me an exit. You gotta be fucking kidding me. No, no, guys, you should not. I want you guys to celebrate your wins. I can't believe I got stopped out of that. That is fucking retarded. Oh, that's painful. All right, we're good. I can't believe that. That's fucking ridiculous. Okay, let's wait. I just needed to journal my trade there before I looked at anything else. Fuck me, that was dumb. Okay, so we're back targeting 400. I can't believe I lost that last trade. So just all my focus here, just fighting my own bullshit a little bit. Yeah, not particularly annoyed or whatever. Like mental capital is fine. I just feel like a bit of a dumbass. Seemingly am addicted to missing the easiest moves. Sitting on back to about minus 700 on the day. When I should have been up 16. That's such not necessary self-sabotage. And the reason why I'm like acknowledging this, right? The reason why I'm saying it is I know what I need to fix, right? Like if I make my pattern aware to me during the day, I find my like optimistic reason to keep trading, right, and not go on tilt. So it's like I think about like what can I do better? What variables can I control better? When I control them, I have the ability to be there. So it just becomes my focus to now get back to being incredibly deliberate with those. It's going to give me another reversal scenario. I'll trade it, right? I don't care. I'll trade whatever the market wants to give me. And that's the objective here, right? Control the variables you can't control. Be honest with yourself over what you're doing and what you need to improve. And then fight so you can fix it. Still got plenty of volatility, plenty of volume. Market's giving us options. So there's no reason to behave in a desperate fashion. Just got to be honest with yourself. So yeah, annoyed. But my annoyance is self-inflicted. You guys took profit when I didn't. And that's really well done. And so you guys should be very proud of that. And yeah, I want you guys to celebrate your wins, right? So please don't feel as if you guys talking about your wins made me make a bad decision. That is not the reality. Some days you just got to go 5 rounds with the market or 10 rounds with the market and just survive. All things considered, done a good job surviving. Done a terrible job taking profit. That's an easy fix. Let's go, Sonia. Congratulations. Yeah, go run. You guys are green, right? Go enjoy your days. You don't have to keep me company. Thanks. Yeah, I'll do my best. Okay, so again, we're getting a little reversal set up here. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills a little bit, but no worries. Yeah, and target here would be high a day. Looking at like a 513 stop loss. Don't necessarily need the fake out because we've already seen one, but it wouldn't hurt. So looking at a 514 stop. 514. Still no reference price, so be patient. There's your possible fake out. Now you're looking at 507. A great little tennis bounce. So 507 would be the stop. Give me a little pullback here, please. Okay, so still watching here, still watching. Fighting my impulses. Still need, 10 points or so for it to even be interesting. Yeah, you too, Leonard. Enjoy. Close. That was definitely a flush into it. Too fast. Although in this like bizarro world, it seems like those ones are the ones that are working the best today. Okay, nice and slow here. Hey guys, I am in 511.75, 511.75, stop loss 507, and I'm not being a dumbass this time. That's my goal. Okay, that was a big rejection. Come on, keep pushing. Okay. Here it pops. Let's even get over 20. Keep going. Might be stalling. All right. So looking for my exit here, guys. Looking for my exit. All right. I took that 515. I took that 515. Was the right decision. All right. Nice little bounce back there. Nice little bounce back. Still a little bit down, but that was the right decision. We read that well. Read that very well, actually. So exit signal there, right, was hit of 520, then retest of entry price. Once it gives me that like pseudo failed move, right, and then retest my entry, I'm kind of being told that my idea is at the very least early and I need to get out. So saved myself a stop loss. And made myself a few extra bucks. Not easy today, guys. Not easy. We'll get there. We'll get there. Now sitting about 280.52 on the day, minus 280.52. So don't have to do it all in one go. Nice and steady here. Annoying to get shaken out, and then it gives you that run through 20, but that's okay, right? Price action is going to make it feel personal all the time. I promise you it never is. Oh, as frustrating as today has been, guys, we've done a really good job managing our risk, controlling our expectations, not chasing dumb stuff. Most of you guys are green, which I love to see, and that's because you didn't make any execution mistakes, right, where I did, and so very, very well done. You guys should be happy about that. That's very impressive. Here's Kiki. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Be nice to have a little actually a little reward for what's been a really good trading fall. Hey, well done, Don. Congratulations. Yeah, guys, I'm confident if I get another setup that wants to behave how I want it to behave, I'm going to be in good shape. Like I said, I'm $280 down. Feel pretty good. A bit annoyed with the price action, but feel pretty good. Every now and then you got to work for a living. Today's last couple days this week have been that way. Okay, again, there's your possible fake outs. We'd want a deep-ish pullback here, right, into like our wick zone. So we've seen more buyers defend under that blue line to red line than we've seen above. So that would be more my entry target. So I get about 7 points of risk, $140 a contract, pretty reasonable. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate that. I'm going to come back weighing an extra probably 60 pounds based on all the barbecue we've got set up for us. All right, so I'll get everything set up here. Stop loss would be 501. I was still doing this on the 5. I don't want to do a 510 stop loss. Best case scenario, I'd be looking at like 17 points of risk, which is more than I'd like to take. You know, thinking back to even some of the trades we've taken here so far today, I don't think I've actually had the direction wrong on any of them, right, which is kind of maybe adding to that frustration a little bit, right? Or directionally, I've been pretty good. Just can't seem to get my timing correct on my entries. Or you know what? No, my entries have been fine. I can't get my timing right on my take profits. Been leaving money on the table and getting greedy. Again, right? I want to. You can chat in here. I don't care, Roberto. Yeah. I'm definitely going to earn that airport beer tomorrow. All right, so we're still potentially in play here. Let's see how this thing closes. Man, self-sabotage is a funny thing. Yeah, so let's see if this thing gives us a little fake out here. Be looking at a 525.50. Yeah, probably. $50 is probably generous. And let's see again for the fake. Might be able to do this now again. 501. See what I'm looking at here. Yeah, cheers, Jerry. Enjoy the rest of your day. Going to a music festival in Austin. Cheers, Jeanette. Yeah, should be fun. I got two more, this one and one more bachelor party in May, and then I'll be able to not have to do that as much. I'm actually pretty tired of all the traveling I've been doing. All right, Torchies and Velvet Taco. I'll write those down. It's a good idea. I am, yeah, Darren, yeah. Ricky? I get a tight risk reward ratio anywhere. Okay, so still in play here, but we need to get a reasonable entry. Fight, 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 fight. Still continues to be our confirmation is this 11:30. Same thing. We want to see a little fake, a little shake and fake. Okay, there it possibly is. Now you're looking at a 23. Arguably lower now, 20. He lives a pretty good life. He's not gonna worry too much here. All right, so we're looking 517 or 516 stop. Let's just keep it simple. Reference price would be about there-ish. Oh, I feel like every time I draw my reference price today, it just like pushes price away. Okay, let's watch. A little bit fast into that zone. Yep, a little bit too fast. We might be going back to this, the 511, 507. Could I do 11 as a stop? 511. Hey guys, I'm in 517.50. Don't like that immediately red. Okay, there's my stop. I'm gonna try this again potentially. Hey guys, I'm back in 509.25, 509.25. Stop loss 506. Come on. Yeah, I've closed this. I'm early on this. I've closed this. We'll potentially try this again, but I was early on that entry, not behaving how I expect. So exit price 511.50. We'll try this again. Oh man, stubborn. Okay. That's a little bounce. Okay. Now we're looking at a 500 stop loss. Reference price around there. I've lost these fake outs today. They are relentless. Like I'm 30 seconds early, 30 seconds late on like every decision. Oh, gotta fight that. Gotta fight that. Minus 555.71. Again, mental capital feels pretty good. A little bit agitated for sure, a little bit frustrated. I just seemingly can't seem to get on the roller coaster when it's going. Keep just missing it or just getting the timing wrong just a little bit. I feel like I'm getting closer and closer, which sounds kind of weird. Well, these aren't really high volume candles in the last 30 minutes, right? So yeah, previously we were looking short, but in the last little bit, Profile X, nothing. So we're then going off of the most recent 5-min candle for a long. That's our most recent increasing outlier volume signal. So that's why we're looking to the upside. Right. So on the 2-min, this high volume bearish move has kind of stalled out or died. On the 5-min, this reversal hasn't. And that's why we keep looking at it. Make sense? Again, a little inside bar doesn't kill me here. It's looking like 2 minutes to go on this candle. So I keep switching to the shorter time frames to see if I can get some sort of increasing outlier, but it's not showing up. So 5-min remains the point of contact, I guess. We still got, 90 seconds here, so time to still be patient. Yeah, still waiting here. You know what I feel like? I feel like Jalen Hurts a little bit here today. Like, not the offense isn't set up to give me a big shot downfield. It's all dink and dunk bullshit. So that would be what we're looking for here. Again, we want to see the little fake out, ideally, right? Under 37. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And maybe we can get finally a 2-min to give me some of that volume we've been looking for. Man. Making me work. Again, I'm a 1R win away from being green. So there's no like panic or desperation or anything like that. I just wish it was a little bit smoother. Okay, let's get rid of some of these lines here. It's busy, busy, busy. And again, we'd be doing something like this. Want to see a little bit of a failure though. Target would be high a day, not wherever this is. Reference price would be 62. Fuck, kidding me. Okay, so still watching here. Stop loss 557 for now. Too fast. Okay, better. Now it's going to get a gentle pullback. 3 points here, please. And too fast. Better. Okay, guys, I'm in 60-50. Oh, stopped out. Damn it. Constantly. 53 now would be the stop. That puts me down again to the 700-ish range. 52 now. 50, 48, 49, 51. 47 would be it. Okay, guys, I'm in 52.25, 52.25. Stop loss at 47. There we go. All right, this thing's running. Let's get it up over 60. I kind of hate how stubborn I've had to be here today. It's kind of stalling out a little bit here. So now the focus is closing as P&L is increasing. Come on, give me an exit. All right, I have closed, guys. I have closed 62.50. 62.50 puts me at 255.93. Let's keep going. So it's just for a little bit over $1,000, 1025. All right, maybe you can try this again. Exact same thesis. No, it does not pay to fight your trading rules ever. You gotta just be stubborn and stick to them. Nothing else makes you any money long term. All right, guys, I am back in long 49.25. 49.25. Stop loss at 44. Oh, just took the stop. All right, sick. One more attempt here. 41. I'm back in 46.25, 46.25. Instantly paid for that last loss. Let's see if this thing's got a little bit more juice to it. There we go. There we go. Keep pushing. There's 700, 800, 900, 1,000. All right, guys, I'm going to take that. Closing as P&L is increasing here. Come on, increase, 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 increase. Sweet. All right, guys, I'm out at 55. Out at 55. Beautiful. All right, now we're sitting on a nice day here. Now we're sitting on something decent. Everyone's still with me. Everyone's still alive. Everyone's still got their wits about them. You guys green? Everyone green? Nice work, Jeanette. Nice work, Stephanie. Well done. Let's go, Mike. Chris, send me your trades. Figure out what's going on. Good man, Jake. We should have never, ever been to a point where we're so red, guys, right? Everything here today has been like plus 600 to minus 600, right? We've been in that range, oscillating between that all morning. Depends on what my risk is on that trade, right? So I'm trying to risk no more than $500 per trade. So it just depends on how tight my stop loss is. DMs, Chris. No, I do. I just warn people to be aware of the scammers that pretend to be me. PNL for the day right now is 581.14. 581.14. Okay, so we're gonna be back in business here again, potentially. All right, 8 seconds, increasing outlier volume, still targeting high a day here. We're looking at a 567 for now. I'm still not convinced that's going to hold. Yeah, let's start to set it up though. 67. Reference price here would be under there. Okay, guys, I am back in at 74. 74. Stop loss at 67. There it goes. Beautiful. Got to get over and hold 80 here. Got to get over and hold 80. That's stalling a little bit. I'm not going to be a greedy prick. Come on. Push, 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 push. Don't like that little rejection. So I'm going to look to close here, guys. Okay, I am out 75, 75. We'll try this again. That added another 150 bucks. Again, we will try this again. Felt early. If I'm early, I'm wrong. So potentially try this again. And maybe the warning sign on that trade, right, is I wasn't green right away on my entry. It was like down 2 points, up 2 points, down 2 points, up 2 points. And then it stalls out at 80 or doesn't behave as well as you want at 80. Not enough buffer. So we'll try this again potentially. But just stack them up, little base hits. Giving you guys enough trading here today to satisfy the week. And probably did leave a little bit of money on the table. Would not have stopped me out there at that 67. So possibly a bit of a too much of a P&L focused close. Again, it's a fine balance there, right? I've kind of been complaining to myself that I haven't done a good enough job protecting my wins. I can't really be bitter when then I'm protecting my wins, right? Taking my P&L and then it moves. I can't punish myself for doing the thing I said I was going to do. So just gonna try to reset this thing again. Reference price would be something like that. So stop, let's call it 580. So now stop would have to be lower. Stop would have to be 79. All right, guys, and I am in entry price 82.75, stop loss at 79. And again, there's a 1 hour move already, so being really focused on not giving this up. There's 1,000. And it changes fast. Okay, I got stopped out on that. Motherfucker. Looks quite like a rejection now, so we're going to wait. That puts me to 281.36. Okay. Hard work today. Might be able to afford an airport lounge after this. I'm pretty close to my limit here, guys. It's, 9:30, 12:30. We're pretty close to the limit here. So I would have it set up something like this. And we don't necessarily need to see a second fake out if we've already got one on our confirmation candle. Okay, fine. Nothing's changing here. Did I do 87? And a reference price like that. That's really tight. Now we're looking 88.50. Again, maybe a little bit too tight. If I'm going to do that, I may as well wait for that 92 again, or 90 area. Ricky, co robisz? Chodź tutaj, chodź. Hey, come here. All right. Okay, wait again. Bib tool today. So I'd be looking at like a 571 stop loss. Reference price here-ish. I have earned my money today. Not very much of it, but I have earned it. Okay, focus here. 61 would be the stop for now. Reference price would be about that. So be what, 63 would be the stop price now. I got a partial fill there, not a full fill. I was waiting for the full. I got one out of my 4 contracts at 57. Kind of greasy. So I'm closing that here, guys. So I didn't get the execution I wanted. I'm going to reset this, try again. Okay, I'm back in 57.25. I actually got the size I wanted this time. Oh, there's my stop loss. Okay, fine. That was a scratch. Made 100, lost 200. Now we're looking 570. I got one more psychopath attempt at me here. All right, guys, I'm in 64.50. Perfect entry this time. All right, and that just paid for everything. Let's get one more crack here. Okay, there's 600. Oh, I gotta take that and run. All right, so focusing on closing here as P&L is increasing, guys. Focusing on closing as P&L is increasing. I gotta go enjoy my life at this point. This is not worth the bullshit. All right, well, I'm out of this, guys. I'm out of this. Oh, the most bullshit day in a long time, it feels like. So many trades, $30, $40. Barely counts as a win. I mean, all right, one more stop. 74 would be the stop. All right, I'm in 71. Come on, keep cracking, keep cracking. Ah, fuck it, guys. I'm out. Close price 66. I'm done with this. I'm done with this. Too much stress and bullshit here today. I'm going to take it though. 831.79 on the session. On what was a tremendously busy November 11th. Any questions here, team? Made today much more difficult than I needed to have. All right, guys, final call here. Yeah, not very happy with my trading day. Like, I mean, I'm happy with it. I didn't break any rules. I didn't do anything stupid. I just didn't finish like peaking. I didn't finish on a high note. Guys, with my position sizing, I don't know how else to make this more clear. It is the same thing every single time. My risk, I try to keep it to be less than $500 per trade. That is it. So if my stop loss is 4 points, I can go 5 contracts. If my stop loss is 5 points, I can go 5 contracts. If my stop loss is 10 points, I can go 2 contracts. So I don't increase just because of my perceived feeling of market conditions. It's literally the same thing every single time. So I don't understand this. I don't understand how many times I gotta like you guys gotta look for an exception. Do the same thing every single time. I don't understand that. It's the same process every single time, guys. What's the difference between my reference price and my stop loss? That determines my position sizing. I've made like 6 videos on this. I explain it every single day. Why is this still confusing? I don't understand. Like, I am not sure how to be more transparent, which is where this frustration is coming from. Not consistent with the sizing, Don. I'm consistent with my dollar risk. Right? My sizing changes depends on how big my risk is. Come on, guys. These are basics. These are super simple concepts. My max risk per trade is $500. That is in a million places. So if I've got 2 points of risk versus when I've got 20 points of risk, I have to have different position sizing to account for that same dollar, right? All right, guys. Enjoy your time. I'll see you next week.